Hare Krishna. Today we'll be continuing our Vishnupadaya, Krishna Tirthaya, Bhutareshwara, Bhakti Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ramam Ramaram Pratīram Rajanevanesam Rapavam Sanadam Karunyarupam Karunakarantam Sri Ramachandram Sharanam Prapadye. Adyatma Ramayana Ayodhya kanda chapter 8. Bharata's departure for the forest, meeting with Guha and sage Bharadwaj, arrival at Chitrakoot. Lord Shiva said, O Parvati, one day sage Vashishta, surrounded by other sages and ministers, came to the royal court, which was comparable to the divine court of the gods, sitting on a seat which was as majestic and divine as that of Lord Brahma. Vashishta summoned Bharata and Shatrugna and made them take their respective seats. He said to Bharata, the vanquisher of enemies, words which were most befitting to the circumstance and time. O son, according to the words of your father, we shall anoint you on the stone today. O the best among men, Kaikeyi had asked from the king kinghood for you. The king was a staunch follower of the path of truth, so he made a promise and fulfilled it by giving it to her. Hence, you should have no compunctions about it and allow yourself to be anointed on the throne amidst chanting of mantras by the sages and seers. Hearing this, Bharata replied, O Lord, see, what have I got to do with this kingdom? Sri Rama is the king of kings. We are but his humble servants. Tomorrow morning we shall proceed to the forest to bring him back. I, of all of you, and all mothers except the demoness like Kaikeyi, we shall all go to the forest. What can I do? Left to me, I would have killed this lady Kaikeyi, who is my mother, for the namesake only. But the most exalted Raghu, Sri Rama, would never excuse or forgive me for slaying a woman. Therefore, at the crack of dawn tomorrow morning, whether you come alone or not, I shall go with Shatrugna on foot to the Dandakaranya forest. O sage, just as Rama had gone. And unless and until he returns, I, along with Shatrugna, will also wear hermit-like clothes made of bark of trees, make my hair naked, eat fruits, stems and fruits, and sleep on the ground. Making this final firm determination, Bharata fell silent. As all the assembled people praised him, saying, sanely, sanely. Thereafter, when Bharata made his departure the next morning, at the instance of Sumantra, the minister, all the soldiers, along with elephants and horses, also accompanied him. Kausalya and other queens, sage Vashishta and other sages and seers covered the ground around him, in front and rear, sideways, everywhere, according to their standing in society. They arrived at Shringverpur, and the huge army accompanying Bharata pitched camp at the instance of Shatrugna on the banks of river Ganges. When Guha, the boatman, heard of the arrival of Bharata with a large army, he became suspicious, wondering if he, Bharata, is not going to Sri Rama with any malicious intention. I shall go and find out his true intention. If his intentions are okay, then he shall be allowed to cross the other side of the river. Otherwise, my clansmen should arm themselves with their weapons and become alert. They must put the boats off from the bank and station them in the middle of the water. Having issued these instructions to his people, who have collected various types of gift offerings and accompanied by many fully armed clansmen, he came to meet Bharata. There he kept all the gifts before him, and looking, he saw that the dark complexioned Bharata, attired in clothes made of bark of trees, with matted hair, was sitting with his younger brother and minister. He was remembering Sri Rama and repeating his name, Ram, Ram. Seeing this, Guha put his head on the ground, bowed before him, and said, I am Guha. Bharata lifted him immediately, embraced him firmly, and happily asked about his welfare. Then he said to Guha as if he was his friend, O brother, you have lived with Sri Rama here. The pure hearted Sri Rama had embraced you with tearful eyes. You have talked about the lotus eyed Sri Rama along with Sita. You have talked with the lotus eyed Sri Rama along with Sita and Lakshmi. Hence, you are most privileged and fortunate. Your life is successful. O the righteous one, take me to the place where you had first seen Sri Rama. Show me the place where he had slept along with Sita. You are Sri Rama's most beloved friend and privileged, fortunate devotee. In this way, Bharata's eyes were filled with tears of devotion, dedication, love, and affection by repeatedly and fondly remembering Sri Rama. In this way, being greatly perturbed and agitated due to the anguish of separation, he went to the spot with Guha where Sri Rama had stayed during the night. There he saw the place where Sri Rama had slept on the ground, with the grass still spread over it. Probably Guha had maintained the place in original shape as a memento or as a token of remembrance in honor of his exalted guest. It was adorned by gold particles falling off from the ornaments worn by Sita. Seeing it, Bharata's heart became overwhelmed with sorrow, fun, and remorse. He lamented woefully, Alas, that most delicate and dearest of Janaka, Sita, who used to sleep in the royal palace on a soft mattress, on a beautiful gem-studded bedstead with Sri Rama. With what hardships did she sleep on this hard, makeshift bed of grass blades with Sri Rama, all because of my fault? Shame to me. I have taken birth as a treasure house of sins and evils from the womb of Kaikeyi. Alas, it is because of me that the Supreme Soul Sri Rama had to suffer so much trouble. Alas, the great soul Lakshmana's life is blessed that he happily follows Lord Rama, as even while the latter lives in the forest. My life would be deemed successful if I ever happened to become a humble servant of even those who are junior servants or second rank servants of those who directly serve Sri Rama. There is no doubt about it. Oh, brother, Guha, if you know, please do tell me truthfully where is Sri Rama? Wherever he is, I shall go there forthwith to bring him back. Observing that Bharata's heart and mind is pure, Guha said affectionately, O Lord, you have such a truly pure devotion. You have such a truly pure devotion for the lotus-eyed Sri Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana that it is you who are really blessed and privileged. Together with the younger brother Lakshmana, Sri Rama resides near Mount Chitrakoot in the vicinity of river Mandakini, in a place having a number of hermitages of hermits and ascetics. There, Sri Rama is happily and comfortably put up along with Sita Devi and younger brother Lakshmana. Come, let us go there haste. First, all of you cross the river Ganges here. Saying this, he quickly summoned 500 boats for the army to cross over the great river and brought a special larger boat himself. In that boat, he took Bharata, Shatrughna, Sri Rama's mother Kausalya, and Sage Vasishta. And in the other boat, he put Kaikeyi and the other royal women from. Despite Bharata's special injunction barring Kaikeyi from coming with the party, he did come along as is evident in this verse, perhaps out of guilt and shame, or fear of being murdered while being left alone in Ayodhya, or to ensure that Sri Rama does not come back at the last. In all probability, if Sri Rama had concurred with Bharata's demand, there was a possibility of Kaikeyi throwing a sparkly firework display of her tantrums in the forest itself. But as it happened, Sri Rama refused to come back to Ayodhya. This resulted in her being completely unhinged and deflated and asking for forgiveness instead. They, read, they readily crossed river Ganges and proceeded towards the hermitage of sage Bharadwaj. There, leaving behind his huge army, a little behind, Bharata, along with his brother Shatrughan, went to the hermitage. And on seeing the sage, who was as splendid as a burning fire, sitting there, Bharata prostrated before him with devotion. When the exalted sage came to know that he is Dasharatha's son Bharata, affectionately worshipped the latter, seeing that he was wearing clothes made of bark of trees and had matted hair. The sage asked about his general welfare and then specifically inquired, why have you attired yourself in clothes made of birch while reign, reigning as a king? And why have you come in this forest, which is known for penances and auspicities, and which is inhabited by hermits and ascetics? Note. Compare this with Canto 6, verse number 37 to 40, wherein Bharadwaj tells Sri Rama that he knows why he has come to the forest. It seems it's incredulous to think that the exalted sage did not know why Bharata has come. It appears that he just wished to find out what Bharata has in his mind, just as Guha had earlier done in verse 15 to 16. He was testing his integrity, seeing Bharata's reply in the following verse. Hearing these words of sage Bharadwaj, Bharata replied with tearful eyes, O Lord, you have everything because you are all-knowing. Still, whatever you ask is your grave on me. The ugly incident that Kaikeyi had created, putting an obstacle in the announcement of Sri Rama on the throne, and the fact that he has been sent to the forest exile. O the best among sages, I say on oath with your holy feet as witness, I had no idea of anything about it earlier. Saying this, he caught hold of both the feet of the sage with a tormented and anguished mind and heart, saying, O Lord, you can know it yourself whether I am guilty or innocent. O Lord, what purpose do I have with the kingdom when King Sri Rama is what purpose do I have with the kingdom when King Sri Rama is around? O the most exalted sage, I have been Sri Rama's humble follower forever. Hence, O the noble sage, I shall go to Sri Rama, catch hold of his feet, and put all these paraphernalia of kinghood in his custody in the forest itself. Then, accompanied by sage Vashishta, citizens, and other subjects of the kingdom, I shall crown him and take him back to Ayodhya, where I shall serve Lakshmi's Lord, like a humble servant. Hearing these sincere emotional outpourings of Bharata's heart, the sage clasped him to his bosom, smelled his head, and began praising him thus. O son, I had already known these events through my eyes of transcendental vision. You should not regret, mourn, or lament, for you are a greater and superior devotee of Sri Rama as compared to Lakshmi. O the sinless, pure, faultless one, I want to extend my warm welcome gesture not only to you, but also to your entire army and to me. You must have your meals with your army and indulge here today and proceed to Sri Rama's place tomorrow. Bharata said, I shall do as you order. Then sage Bharadwaja sipped some holy water and sat down in a Vyaknishala. Sitting there, that all-bestowing sage invoked the Kamadhenu cow, which has the potential power to fulfill all desires. That cow then presented all the majestic items of worldly comfort He satisfied all the requirements of Bharata and his army, so that all soldiers and men were happy and contented. After that, the king of aesthetics, Bharadwaj, worshipped and honored sage Vashishta according to the edicts of his scriptures. Thereafter, he satisfied Bharata along with the entire army and endorsed Bharata created a visual heaven on earth for one night for Bharata's party. Bharadwaj. He wished to test their detachment with material comfort and sincerity of their devotion for Sri Rama. Staying there for one day in that heaven-like hermitage, at the first ray of sun the next morning, Bharata bowed before the stage, took his permission, and moved on to Sri Rama's place along with his brother and the entire entourage. When he reached the vicinity of Chitrakoot, he stopped the soldiers of the army a little distance away and moved ahead himself to have a darshan of Sri Rama. Bharata, Shatrugna, Samantra, and Guha went around all the cluster of hermitages for those who were doing penances there, and not finding Sri Rama anywhere despite their best efforts, they returned empty handed. Then they asked a group of sages, where does Sri Rama live along with Sita and Lakshmana? They replied, on the other side of that mountain, on the yonder and on the northern part of river Mandakini is the lonely cottage of Sri Rama, at a place adorned by a verdant forest. It is hedged by mango trees, plantain trees, and panas, jackfruit trees. Besides these, there are trees of various flowers such as magnolia, fortuner, and narcissus adorning the area. Having received this guidance, Bharata, along with his ministers, cheerfully and eagerly moved ahead in that direction where the most exalted Raghu, Sri Rama's dwelling, was located. Moving ahead, Bharata, along with his brother, had a glimpse of the beautiful dwelling of Sri Rama, which was served the hermits and ascetics. In its clothes made from bark of trees and deer skin were hung upon branches of trees. The place was rendered most magnificent, enthralling, and attractive by the virtue of Sri Rama's residence there. So with this, we come to the end of the 8th chapter of Ayodhya Kanda. So see you all in the next session. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Ram.